Good morning. Boy, it's hard to get out of that nice and warm sleeping bag when it's so cold. The last 2 nights have been cold. Starting out in my base layer today, but I think it'll warm up quickly, I hope. The first almost 15 miles I have today is on a gravel forest service road, so hopefully they'll go quickly. And we're off. You just never know who you're going to meet on the trail. I was hiking along and I saw this guy hiking and he had some sheds on the back of his pack. And I ended up catching up with him. He's like, "Hello, hiker." Hello. And he asked me my name and I said Braveheart. And I asked him his name and he said Wolfman. And I thought, I met a Wolfman on the PCT. So I asked, "Hike the PCT?" He said, "Yeah, in 20 and 21. And I said, "Is your first name Adam?" He said, "No." I thought for a minute. I said, "Did you have any medical emergencies while you were hiking?" He said, "Well, as a matter of fact, I did." And I said, "Did you have your appendix removed?" He said, "I did." I said, "Then we met before on the PCT." He goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, it was right after you came back on trail. Didn't you have to get off at Shelter Cove?" He said, "Yes, I did." And I said, "I met you right after you came back on trail from your surgery." And I just thought it was funny that out here in the middle of nowhere, you meet somebody that you met before out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, you just gotta love the trail. Time to do a little food assessment. I think I have 2.5 days until Pie Town. I think it's 53 miles away. That's where I'll get my next resupply. So I need at least 3 breakfast and 3 second breakfast, which I have. So here's 3 breakfast. Yes, those are Cheez-Its. That's like 400 calories. You can't beat that. And then I'll have these for second breakfast. Lunch is where I'm a little lacking, so maybe I can eat this one day, half of it one day and half the next day, and 1 or 2 of these. I may need the third one on the third day. I don't know. See how many miles I have. I have this 1 extra protein bar. That's not much extra. And then I have 3 ramens, and I use a ramen and a half for dinner. So this will be 2 dinners, and then each dinner will also have a package of olive oil, and I have tons of Propel. I hope that gives me all the energy I need to make it to Pie Town. I thought this would be a good time to film because the birds are singing like crazy right now. They're just making lots of sounds. It's interesting to hear. Did 22.5 miles today, and I'm going to take a minute and look at my maps. I think I have like 53 miles to Pie Town. So I'm going to map out where I'm going to stay tomorrow. One thing is I was looking at the map after I was looking at my food. There is a place I'm going to have to take an alternate trail because there's no water on the other trail at all. And so on that alternate, there's actually a place where there is some food. I guess it goes by somebody's house and they just set food out and it's like make a donation and take what you need type thing. I don't know for sure. All I know is there might be a possibility of food there, so that might help my cause. So we'll see how it goes. Today was really weird because near the end of the day, when I had like 4 miles, I was getting so tired and I was like, gosh, I'm just dragging. And then when I just had 2 miles left, I stopped and I ate dinner, rested, and still even like the next mile, I was like dragging. And then all of a sudden, I got some pep in my step and I finished up and then added like 8/10 onto it. I wasn't gonna do 22 and a half. I was gonna stop earlier. But I didn't want to go any further because I'm getting ready to go down in a canyon and it's gonna be cold down there. So I wanted to sleep a little higher so it doesn't get so cold. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I'm gonna go the first 5 miles or 4.5 miles through this canyon with a river in it. And I don't know, it should be pretty cool. It's called the Govina Canyon. So excited about that, excited about tomorrow. Happy trails. I'm getting a 7 o'clock morning start. I don't know how that's happening. I didn't go to sleep till after 2:30. My mind just would not turn off. And I woke up at 5:30 and tried to go back to sleep, but it didn't happen. I laid there as long as I could. I see a nap in my future somewhere today. I'm off. Collect some water from this pond because it's the only choice I have. I'll see what it looks like. Not too bad. I'll filter it. Should be good. So, as you know, I've been cold soaking my dinner since the incident where I lost my stove. And this is the 4th night in a row I've cold soaked. And the 3rd time that I couldn't finish it. I'm ready for something hot to eat. I wanted to do 22 miles today. When I was looking over the maps last night, I calculated it was 54 miles to Pie Town. So I wanted to do 22 today, 22 tomorrow, and then just have 10 on the last day. And well, one thing happened today is Wolfman caught up to me and we talked and walked for a while and we missed a turn and we were a half mile down the trail for the other trail before we realized what we'd done. So that's adding a mile to today's hike. There is an alternate to Pie Town and it happened at Highway 12. And I did select to take that alternate. And it says the alternate road walk. And this is the road. So it looks like just a forest road that I'll follow. Everyone chooses this route because there's a lot more water on this route than the other one. The other one had like a 20 or 25 mile carry. Some big carry days. So everyone's taking this little alternate. eating dinner, I noticed the back of my down coat had a little hole in it, and this down was starting to come out. So I'm going to use these scissors to kind of stuff it back in there, the down part. And then you can see how that lays flat. And then the next thing I'm going to do is cut a piece of tenacious tape to put over the top of that to repair it. So tenacious tape is a really strong adhesive, and it is clear, so it's good for patching up coats and things like that. So let me cut a piece off. So here's the tape, and I just press it on like that, and the repair is done. I'm gonna push it down better with 2 hands. There we go. All right, now I won't lose any of my down. Well, I ended up doing 22.4 miles. It took me a while to find a good, nice, flat campsite, but I found one, and I'm gonna burrow here in my tent and in my sleeping bag and hopefully get a good night's sleep. I hope I sleep better than I did last night. So that's all for today. Happy trails. Good morning. I went to sleep like within 5 minutes of laying my head down. I slept really hard for about 3 hours, woke up, laid there for about 2 hours and went back to sleep. And I slept until 6:20, and then I rolled over and went back to sleep and slept until 7. It was cold last night, and I'm starting at 8 o'clock, and 8 o'clock is a lot warmer than 7 o'clock. So I am hitting the trail. There's supposed to be a water cache in about 2 miles. I hope there is, because this morning when I was filtering my water, my filter is starting to get, well, it's running slow is what it is, so it's getting dirty, and I need to back flush it. And I probably won't be able to do that till I get into town, so I'm hoping I can hit the water caches along this route in a timely manner so I don't have to filter too much. Last night when I stopped and ate dinner, it was by that pond lake thing. I don't know what it really is. It looked like a retention pond of some kind for cows. But I was kind of leaned back looking up in the air, and there were all of these little birds. I don't know what kind they were. I wish I did. And they were diving, and they were just swirling all above me. There must have been some kind of insect in the air. It looked like they'd dive and then they'd lift back up. It was just like a little fireworks show right there for me. I enjoyed it. I just said it was cold last night, but my water didn't freeze. My olive oil did solidify. But I thought, well, I was just surprised that my water didn't freeze at all. And then I just came across this puddle, and part of it was frozen, so it wasn't my imagination. This water cache that's coming up, it's near a campground, and on the app it says, look for a doghouse. The water's in a doghouse. I can't wait to see that. I'm 2 miles from the ranch, place where I can get water, there's electricity, and food, it sounds like. The guy who owns it just came by on his little motorcycle, like a motocross bike, and asked me if, he told me while I was there, and then he asked me if I wanted to ride on the back of his motorcycle. I declined. So just 2 miles till I get there. Be there soon enough. This place has everything. A place to wash your dishes and clean up. A place to cook. If you're tired, you can sit on the stump there. And then on around here, there is a toilet. And in here is a shower. And in here is a place to charge your electronics. And here's eggs, potatoes, and onions and Sprite. Washing machine and dryer. And a place to sleep for the night if you'd want to. I'm gonna move on down and try to do 4 more miles. That'll get me to 22 and just set me up for 10 miles tomorrow. Going into Pie Town. Said I was only going to stay there an hour. I tried really hard because they had Wi-Fi. So I tried really hard to make it an hour, but it turned into an hour 15. So this is a good time to hike because it's cooler and the sun's still up. See how I do. I mentioned that they had Wi-Fi there. So I have not had cell service since Monday at Doc Campbell's. And even there, I could make phone calls. And the only way I could upload that last video that I uploaded, I think it was episode 2, was because somebody else had a Starlink and let me log on to it. The Wi-Fi has been horrible. I couldn't even upload it all in Lordsburg. In Silver City, it took a couple of hours for one video to upload, and usually they take about 30 minutes. So I hope things are better at this bed and breakfast that I'm staying at, because I hope to edit a lot of video and get it posted up for you guys. Way over there in the distance are some elk. I saw them trotting along before they went into those bushes. There were like 6 of them. They were beautiful. I really wanted to camp in this field, but it seems like if I do, I could be up to a $500 fine. But that's the view over there that I would have in the morning. Now I'm hearing coyotes. I don't know if you can hear them or not. Wow, there's a lot happening on this road. Well, I was going to do 22 miles today, but after eating a half a dozen eggs there at the little ranch, I felt invigorated, so I just kept walking. I decided I was going to walk until 7:45, and I did, and I was hoping to get 4 miles in, but I got more than that. So I ended up doing 23.8 miles today, so almost 24. That gives me a pretty short walk. I'm thinking 7 or 8 miles into Pie Town tomorrow. So what I didn't know is along this stretch, there's a lot of private land. There's a lot of no trespassing signs. And I'm not going to confirm or deny what property I'm on. But it led me to my line of thinking about something that I'd like to say I don't have a pet peeve about, but I do have a pet peeve about it. And that's how some people use the term stealth camping. On the AT, people thought if they weren't sleeping at a designated campsite or a shelter, then they were stealth camping. And they would be like, right, you could see them on the trail, like when you walked by. And the PCT, not so bad about that. They had a better understanding of it. But stealth camping really is when you are away from the trail or a road or both. No one can see you, and you go in late and you go out early, and no one knows you're there. It's like leave no trace. That's stealth camping. Oh, I can already tell that tonight is going to be a lot hotter than last night, because last night I got cold pretty darn quick. And you see I'm using right now my sleeping bag as a pillow. because it's not that cold. So I wonder how cold it's going to get after it froze last night. It's going to be warm tonight. Well, that's all. I'm signing off. Happy trails.